Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tasneem. I'm the senior manager at 98 percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time we would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was I think the best part. Now, I really hope we have a very, very fruitful association with each one of them and XLR in future. We are really looking forward to have many more drives like this.
Hi everyone, my name is Prachi Sharma and I'm the Senior Project Manager for IT Department at 90th percentile. So today we were here for this IT bootcamp, right, this technical drive and at XLR. So it was a great experience and I would feel that the students, they are the freshers, right, but it doesn't seem like that. So if I talk about their technical and cognitive ability, they all seems pretty good in that. And that's what I felt, and I guess they have been taught pretty well at XLR, so that's how they have performed good in their aptitude and the technical tests. So I wish them all the best, and it was a very great experience over here.
from 98th percentile. We visited XLR for the campus placement drive and it went very well today. Miss Ambika, Miss Pragati, everyone received us greatly here and we had a lot of enjoyable time here. The students even had great experience with us. They were interactive, they had good aptitude and all the technological skills they showed. I think they were all well and we really appreciate their time that they spared to us and I think we will be doing a great job. We are expecting a lot of people to be hired from them. Let's see. It was a great experience altogether.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
From entering into this cyber tower to exiting out of this tower, the XLR team has been received me with such a care and pleasure.
I am the part of this XLR since 4 months. From the third month itself, they have conducted the placement sessions from the third month itself, and this is the fourth month, and this is the 98th percentile is one of the placement drive I have attended so far, and attending to this drive is such a good experience for me. All the HRs and the team made us feel very comfortable and confident.
XLR helped me a lot and I experienced a lot of things today. So I'm really hope to be placed in that company. I'm confident about that. Thank you.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Tasneem. I'm the senior manager at 98 percentile in the HR department. And today we did a wonderful drive with XLR. It was amazing right from the very beginning, from the very first day when I got in touch with them till today. I think it was an extremely smooth journey with them. There were multiple follow-ups done by the representatives in order to check that we would be, what time we would be coming, how many people would be coming, what vehicle we would get. To that extent, they were so precise in giving all the information to us. It was extremely great to get associated with them and have a drive at XLR campus. So we are very, very happy that we got a chance to do this. Now, coming to the students, what XLR had, I think they were extremely enthusiastic. They were well prepared. They were aware of what they are coming for. I think there was some back-end preparation which they did that was commendable. They also were very confident and they were open to any kind of thing we were asking them to do. That was the
Hello guys, good evening. I hope my voice is loud and clear. I hope all of you are done with your coffee and tea and freshly you're sitting in the session. Okay. Guys, I asked one question. You want LMS recap or not? So I received 90% of the response is and 10% no. So those who said no, guys, bear with me for 5 more minutes. I will be there for 5 more minutes and then we start with the session. Okay. Don't get bored, please. Okay. So guys, can we start or we'll wait because few participants are joining. Again, tomorrow they will ask me what's the LMS. So what's the time? So we'll wait for 2 more minutes and sharp at 7:10, we'll start with the LMS KT. Okay. Yes, in the LMS KT, I will explain about the material as well. Don't worry. Okay. Very good evening again, all of you. Thank you so much for wishes. Sir, I have one doubt. What's your doubt? Tell me. If your doubt is regarding the LMS, just wait for 2 more minutes, okay? If you have any another doubt, let me know. Yes, guys, will clear your doubt. What is your doubt? Let me know. Sir, can we show how to access LMS in screen? Yes, definitely. I'm going to share my screen. Just 1 more minute. Very good evening, you two participants. Is yesterday's material is posted? Yes. Okay, so let's start. It's 7:10. Yesterday, as I promised, definitely we'll have LMS KT and then we'll start with the session. So I'm sharing my screen. Once it's visible, just let me know in the chat box. YouTube and Zoom, both participant. I want a quick response from your side. Yes, it's visible. Yes, good. So guys, what is the LMS? So LMS is XLR Learning Management System. Okay. It's a portal, online portal. And what is the use of LMS? To access the recordings, to access the material, to give the attendance, to give the assessment. Okay. So I hope all of you are done with your registration. After your registration, you receive 2 emails. Okay. So first email is welcome to XLR and verify your account. In that, we mention one verification link. If you have to set your password, click on that link. It will take you to the next page. Here, you have to set your password. Whatever password you want, you can set here. Type that same password in the confirm password. Set my password. That's it. After completion of this process of setting the password, you have to open your second email. And the second email is course invitation email because we are giving you the access of that particular course. Okay, here we mentioned that welcome to the Python programming and SQL. And we mention our URL, see, onlinelearning.xla.com. It's our URL of our XLA portal. So going forward, if you're not able to get that email again and again, use any browser, simply type it down, onlinelearning.xla.com, give your credentials, like click on sign in, give your credentials and watch recorder sessions. That's it. So click on this, it will take you through the sign in page. Here, you have to click on sign, then it will open a login to XLR page. So here you have to mention the email ID, which email ID which you use at the time of registration. Don't go for mobile number, go for email ID and the password which you set in the first email. Click on login. Okay, now I will show you directly to the LMS how it is look like. 1 minute. Guys, don't worry about your query and question. I will take it up. Just allow me 2-3 more minutes. I will just finish that and we'll take the questions. So after clicking on login, you are able to see this kind of page. Good evening, Amar. Home tab. On the home tab, I will show you the ways of join the session. There are 2 ways. First is to join via Zoom. Second is to join via YouTube. So in today's session tab, at my right hand side, you are able to see Python programming and SQL day 4. If you click on join, it will take you through the Zoom. If you're facing any technical difficulty or any glitch, if our participant reach 1K, then you're not able to join via Zoom. In such situation, we are open on YouTube as well. So you click on that banner, which is about the today's session tab, and all the things, whatever things are going here, you will get here. Okay, so see, if you have any query or question, you can type in the chat box. Whatever the links are there, we share it over here. So Zoom and YouTube both will be interactive. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now coming back, I will show you how to access the recordings of that particular classroom. So there are lots of classroom in my dashboard, so don't worry about the another. So we'll search for Python and SQL for the month of November. So I'll scroll down. Okay, Python programming and SQL 27th November 2023. Click on that. First tab in the curriculum is feedback response. Every day you have to mark your feedback because 60% attendance is mandatory to get the certificate. And secondary thing, most important secondary thing, we are also getting to know that. We are also get to know that how the sessions are going on. If you have any suggestions, if the training is going good, that works a lot to us. Okay, but most important thing, the attendance link will only open between 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. So you have to make sure that you're marking your attendance between 8:30 to 9:30. And anyway, we're uploading the attendance in the LMS, but as a secondary part, 8:30, I used to share that attendance in the chat box as well. So no one is going to say me after the 15 days, I didn't get the attendance link. Okay. So coming back, the curriculum tab again, below that session recording. So see, whatever we covered till day 4, all recorded sessions are there. So see, from first day we cover introduction of Python variables and data types. If you click on that, you will get that session recording. Okay. All things are there. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. All the material and recording you will get here. And below the session recording tab material is there. Python notes, Python day 1. See, PDF block. You can adjust whatever you want and you can access that. That's the simplest way. One more thing. So if you're a participant or secondary user, second time user of the Excel solution, so they have LMS access, but on the dashboard, you're not able to see the Python and SQL classroom. So in such scenario, go in the store. Okay. And in the store, search for Python and SQL classroom and simply click on enroll. See, here is enroll option. You can click on enroll. After coming back, you can just refresh your home tab. You will get that as well. Now it's time to check for questions. Guys, any query or question? Yes, feedback and attendance is the same only. Anything? Guys, ask me now. Guys, if there are practice files, if there is an Excel file, if there is any code, you are able to download that. But if there is any reference material, you have to refer via LMS. Okay, that is the one most asked question to me. It's clear. Great. Guys, if it's clear, let me know. Clear. Sir, should we? Yes, sir, clear. Okay, so thank you so much. And no problem. I will be there in the last 5 minutes. If you have any more question, definitely I will help you on the same. So no need to worry. So without wasting too much time, it's already 7:17. So Hemant sir, over to you. Please take it forward. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Amar. Thank you for the briefing again. I think it is helpful for all the students. So please access all your files through the LMS, guys, and it will be updated regularly. You have the entire notes there. You can go through whatever we have done with the help of the notes and download the latest copy. Okay, so download it today and you can go through it. If you have an old copy, just disregard it and download the one from today. All right. Right. Let's get started with today's session. I'll be sharing my screen. Please let me know once it is visible. Can you please type in yes if it is visible? Okay. Perfect. Thank you. And can you please confirm if my audio is all clear? If there is any distortion, if there is any background noise, anything, please let me know. Okay, all clear. Thank you. So hello again, good evening, and welcome to today's session. Right, today is going to be day 4 of your Python plus SQL training. And let's go through what we did yesterday. And the first thing that we did was the bitwise operators to perform the the bit level operations. We understood the bitwise and bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, NOT, and then left shift as well as right shift. Okay, so as we know, we do not use it every day, that is in our day-to-day programming, although it is good to have this knowledge, right? And if you're working with embedded systems or networking, cryptography, where you work with encryption, decryption algorithms, right? So over there, you'll be dealing with a lot of bitwise operators. Okay, right. Although it is a very low level operation, when I say low level, it is not very human readable, right? It is all zeros and ones, right? Although it is low level, it is good to know how it works. Okay. So next, we went through the decision making, where we understood how the if statement works, right? If is paired with else, and if you want to add more conditions, that is, if you want to change the conditions, you are going to add if, elif, right? And you can add any number of elif or else if you want to expand that. So you can add any number of them, right? So therefore, that is our decision-making statements, right? Then we went with the looping, where we understood the for loop and then the while loop. Okay, so for loop is used to iterate over any sort of a list, tuple, or a string, and then we have the while loop, where you can just repeatedly execute a block of code. Okay, as long as you want, that is, as long as the condition gets satisfied. And we also made use of the nested loops, where if we are dealing with some complex data structures, right? It could be multi-dimensional data, right? Or, for example, it could be your matrices. That is your matrix operations. So there you can use the looping, that is the nested looping. Okay. Then we went through the loop control statements, break, and then continue. Right? It is quite easy how it works. So if you want the loop to break prematurely, that is, upon a condition, if you say break this entire loop, it will do that at that particular point. And then continue, where you want to skip the particular iteration. Okay, right. So let's get it out of our way and move on to the code. And one of you asked, what is going to happen when it is an infinite loop, right? This is what happened. I ended up executing this, and just see how big the editor has become, right? And the zeros are just going on and on. I don't think I'll be able to scroll through it even if I sit through the entire 2 hours, right? So what happened is I removed this code. So what I did, I commented out this code with the help of hash. So hash will help us to add some comments within the code. Therefore, the comments are actually not parsed within the program. Therefore, what happens? It is just printing the count while count is less than 5. And count is obviously less than 5 because it is 0, right? And also what it did, it exhausted the entire memory of my browser. And later I had to reboot my system. So that is what happened. Okay, let me delete this entire cell because it is a very dangerous code at this moment. And now look at the code. It is having a lot of breathing space. Okay. So we also learned a bunch of mathematical operations like the absolute value, the power, rounding off, that is rounding up and rounding down with the help of math.ceil and math.floor. So how do you get the math functions? It is by importing the math library. Then factorial, random numbers, right? Random integers. Okay. And also the trigonometric functions. Okay. So we got into printing the, the sequences like this, the string sequences with the help of repetition, right? So if you guys have tried any code with this, you can go ahead and post it in the chat. I'll take a look at it probably and let you know how it is. And so after that, we also did the string formatting, right? Where we looked at the different formatting of strings. Okay, that is the string formatting operators. %d stands for integer, %f is the floating floating point, and %s is for string. Okay, that is what we did here. And it prints the name, the age, and the height. Okay, and these are nothing but the placeholders. Okay, nothing but the placeholders, and you are letting Python know what each of them mean. Okay, the first occurrence, second, and the third. Same goes here, the same order. First, second, and third. Name, age, and height. Okay, that is formatted text. It is, when I say placeholder, it is just going to hold the place so that it can represent the variable value within that position. And %.2f stands for 2 precision values after the decimal point. Okay, it depends on what value you give here. Right, if you give 3, it is going to display with 3 decimal values, just like it has done with 2 here. Okay, and know that height is 5.8, and here it is 5.80 because of .2f. Okay, so that's about the string formatting. Next, let us go with the built-in string methods. Okay, so we have a lot of built-in methods when it comes to the different data types. Okay, string has a couple of them like this, and one of them is center. Center, this is a method. When you use this along with the string, it will be adding some padding. Okay, the padding on both left and right side. Okay, so to the given width, what is the width that we are giving here? So it will add the padding. Okay, why don't we just try this out to understand it better? Right. One moment. Okay, so we had text is what? 5. And we have a center text. We'll take the variable as center text. That is text dot center. That's the method that we are going to use. Okay, which is going to take 2 arguments. That is the length and also the, right, that is the, what is the symbol that, or the character that you want to pad it with. Okay, I say I'll take hyphen in this case. Therefore, it gives us a padded string in this format, right? And what is the length of this? Exact 10. Can you count this? Right, it is exactly 10. And if you change this value, let's say I make it as 20, right? It increases so that it matches the text length, that is the string length. Okay, and it can be of any number or 500, anything, right? But it ensures that the text that we provide is always in the center, right? So, you can use this to format your string, or, if you want to use it with any sort of designing or anything that you want, right? So you can use it. All right. Next, we have the count. Okay, the count method counts the number of occurrences of a substring within a string. Okay, so let's understand that with an example. Text is, let's say, Python is easy. Let's remove that. Python is fun. Okay, so it is obvious that we are trying to focus on Python in the string. Okay, so we will say count of the Python string. So take the text and then use the method text.count. And what is the string that you want to search? It is Python. So if I give Python like this, what would be the output? Can anyone take a guess? A lot of you are saying 2, 6, 6, 15. Okay, I got one right answer. Good. Few right answers. Good. So it is all about paying attention to detail, guys. Coding is all about paying attention to the detail. So let's execute this. And it says Python is not defined, and it throws an error. Right? It throws an error which says name Python is not defined. What is the reason for this? Can you just type in the reason? Yes, you got it right. So it must be a string, right? Otherwise, what is this? This is a variable because it is highlighted in black, and you can see all these variables are in black, right? So we have the color coding for our variables as well. What if it is a string? It changes to red. So therefore, you will get your answer. That is 2. So earlier, whoever got the, whoever said 2, all of you are correct, right? So why? Because it encounters Python twice. Okay. So let's change this a little bit. Okay, you might have some doubt whether it is case sensitive or not, right? So you guessed it right. It is case sensitive because here Python is having P uppercase, and here this one is having the lowercase. Therefore, it takes only this into consideration when it is trying to match the string. Okay, therefore, the count will be reduced to 1. Okay, right. I hope that clears your doubts. Okay, so in center, can we give length less than string length, like 2? Why don't we try it to observe that, what happens, right? So when you give 2, it can't really add any padding with the maximum string length of 2 because the actual string itself is about 6. String length is 6 with Python, right? So therefore 2 is not going to work. So if you give 6, again it says just Python, right? If you give 7, it takes only the left hand side. Okay, so I wanted to leave this up to you guys. You guys are the best to explore it, because you are the ones who get all these creative questions. So when you do it, you get more interested within the topic. If I show you literally everything, the surprise is all gone. Right? But anyway, I'm glad you guys asked this, and I hope it answers the question. So 8 is going to add one more towards the right. Okay. All right, guys. So next is, we are moving towards another method, that is decode. All right. So why don't we just do encode first? Yeah. So let us take another text. Text will be hello world. Okay, this is the classic string that we always write when we are doing a simple programming, when we write our first programming. But anyway, next we have, we were talking about what? Encoded text, right? Yeah, I think we have done this, but I'll just recap. Encoded text is text dot encode with the value of UTF-8 formatting. Okay, then your encoded text changes the format. Okay, and you can see that there is a B which is prefixed within the string. So what does this mean? Right? What does this mean? It means that the format of the string has been changed. Right? UTF-8 is another type of formatting. Right? So let us look it up. Okay, I'll just show you what it looks like, because you're not going to bother looking at it again. It looks something like this, right? This is not for us. This is for the machine. Okay, so are we really bothered about it? Are we really bothered about the conversion and everything? Of course not. But we need these to have some sort of encoding within our strings. Okay, so therefore, this can be stored in different formats so that it can be transported from one system to the other, right? So it makes it easier to transport it as bytes. So therefore, this is UTF. And since this doesn't really make sense to any of the humans just by looking at it, what Python does is it just masks that and adds a B to the beginning of the string. Because if it just shows zeros and ones to you, you are just going to be confused. You don't really know what to do with that, correct? So therefore it shows a byte string like this. It means that it is an encoded string. Okay, only thing is the representation is still in the original format, except for the byte string. Okay. Next, same thing. If you encounter a byte string, how do you decode it so that you can actually read it in proper format? We'll look at that. It is very simple, except for encode. You will be adding a decode like this. So you have an encoded text. We'll take the same text. Okay, and what we are going to do will be decoding it. It's going to be encoded text dot decode of UTF. Okay, you will understand all of these when you're trying to deal with a lot of data, probably different kinds of data, like files, right? Like byte streams. So then you will have to convert it so that your machine can read it in a proper format. Okay. This is not for you, this is only for your machine. That's it. And now you can see it is a proper string, hello world, without any byte string. Everything has been decoded. Okay, that's what we mean by encoding and decoding. Encoding is only for your machine, right? It is a requirement for your machine level language so that it can understand the text. Okay. So we also worked with the lists, I believe, right? For example, I think we did this. Something like this, right? How do we access the elements? It is through the indexing, right? So similarly, we have some other operations in the list, right? We learned how you can delete them. Delete, let me just paste that, right? So if you do this, what happens? Number is going to contain, it is going to contain 1, 2, 4, 5, because you are deleting the element which exists at the second index. So one thing what I wanted to show in this was, the reason I did a recap on this is I wanted to show you the slicing. Okay. So let's take a list of numbers. So let it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll take a subset. Subset is going to be numbers from 1 to 4. Any idea what this is going to give you guys? Can you please type in any guess that you have from what you have learned so far? Even if it is wrong, it is okay. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 to 4. Okay. Let's try this out then. So the answer is 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So I can see that few of you got this right, and a few of you just missed it by a little. So what is happening in this is it takes from the first index and includes the first index, right? What is the, this is 0 and the first, second, third, and fourth. So we have till the fourth index. Okay. So the starting index within the slice operation, okay, the starting index is included, okay, included in the subset. So what is the starting index? 1, 0, 1. So therefore 1 is included. Okay, that is the starting range. And then we have the ending index, which is 4. 4 is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is excluding the ending index. Therefore, what it means, it excludes this and prints till here. That is what it does. Okay. So it is. It might be a little confusing, but just remember that the beginning index is going to be included and the ending one is going to be excluded. Okay. So if you try with more numbers, okay, and change this to 6, what happens? You get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the last element, right? Except this, we will get all of these. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, so there is one more to this called as stepper. Right? So if you add a stepper into this, so what happens? It is still the same. And change this stepper, and what happens? It is going to skip one number. Okay, the step, it is instead of taking one step, see from here to here, it is one step. Here to here, it is one step. Instead of taking single steps, what it does, it takes multiple steps. So multiple here is 2 steps. And if you change it to 3, it takes 3 steps and it reduces further. Okay, so that's how it works. And one more part is, yes, Chinmay, I was getting into that, is the negative indexing. So if you do this, numbers of -1. First, what is numbers of 1? It gives you 2. It is the first position. 0 is going to give you 1. And if you go beyond 0, -1, what happens? It says 7. What essentially happened here is it started traversing back from the end of the list, and it can go up to the beginning of the list. -2 is going to give you 6. So what is -5 going to give you? Can you guys type in the answer? Okay. A few different responses, and the answer is 3. Okay. So couple of you are close on that. 2 is not the answer. Then what else? 1 cannot be the answer, right? So -5 is going to do what? It goes till 3. -1, -2, 3, 4, 5, -5, -6, and -7. So that's how it works. Yes, it is in the reverse order. Okay. So if anyone says, try to reverse the entire list, what you can do is you can add empty starting and ending index and give -1. Okay. So then what happens? Look at the subset now. It is completely reversed. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And if you change it to a positive value, it will still remain the same. Why? Because it is just the stepper. Okay. It just takes, it states that how many steps I need to take. Okay. That is in what order. So if you give -1, it goes from behind. That is the reverse order. That's it. Yes, good job, Sagar. You got the answer. Right. Okay, is it clear till here? Any questions? I know that it might be a little tricky, but with a little understanding of logic, you'll be able to crack it, right? Okay. Right. Let's move on to the next one. So using the list, can we create matrices? Stepper, one moment before we move on. So stepper is nothing but how many steps it has to take. All right. So let me change it to a positive integer. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. If I change it to 2, what happens? It is going to take 2 steps. Instead of taking 1 step at a time, it takes 2 steps. So from 1, it takes 2 steps and moves to 3. From 3, 2 more steps, moves to 5. And here again, 2 more steps till 7. Change it to 3, it takes 3 steps. From 1 to 4 and from 4 to 7. And then 4, going to take 4 steps. So 1 to 5. And beyond that, it can't really take any more steps. That is, 4 steps is not possible. Therefore, it just prints 1 to 5. Okay, and same thing you can do it in reverse also, right? So reverse, the number of steps that it can take changes. 7, 5, 3, 1. And change this again. 7, 4, 1. Okay, right. Okay, I can share this notebook with you guys, and also you can find similar examples within the notes as well. Okay, So for reference, I can definitely share this. It will have some errors because we would have tried a bunch of things, but if you want me to share it, I'll definitely do that, as long as it is helpful for you guys. Okay. So it will be in the format of IPYNB. Okay, that is the IPython notebook file. Okay, and do not be confused. You just have to paste it in the directory where you have your Python installed. That's it. Okay. So next, I was talking about the matrix, right? So with this, it is nothing but a list, what I'm talking about. So within the list, can we create a matrix, right? So you can add more lists within a single list, right? This is like inception, a list inside a list. So I can add 1, 2, 3, then comma, one more list, call it 4, 5, 6, comma, and then another list, okay, 7, 8, 9. So what happened in this case is you just try to print it out. Now you get the same representation, but now I hope you can just see, put these below, one below the other, like this, 1, 2, 3, then, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, it looks something like this, right? It is in your matrix format. Now, when you how do you try to access the elements, right? Matrix is all about accessing the required elements. Could be on the diagonal, could be on any specific position. And how do you access the position? It is by n cross n. The matrix is n cross n. That is where you have number of rows and the number of columns, right? So based on that, you can use the indexing. So how do we do it? Let's say value is matrix of 1, comma 2. Okay. So what element is this going to access? Any guess? Just take a wild guess, even if you do not know this. Quite a lot of you got the right answer. Okay, so the value is going to be 6 because it accesses the element in the second row and the third column, right? So second row, this is row 1 and row 2 and row 3. Second row is this, and third column. So don't forget that it starts with 0. Okay, so when you know that, you'll be able to easily identify how to access the elements. So the one represent the second index, second as in 0 and 1, right? So this is 0, this is 1. So first row and the 0, 1, 2. Sorry, that is, over here, 0, 1, 2. That is the third column, right? Therefore, it is 6. Okay, now try one more. Let's say 2, comma 1. Try this out. Yes, you all got it right, almost. Few of you got it wrong, but that's okay. Just practice this and you will be able to understand. Okay, this is nothing but your math related part. Okay, there is not much Python here. Okay, so right, I hope this clears. You can create a matrix within your list as well. Okay, so how many of you enjoy mathematics and how many of you do not? Type in Y for yes and N for no. Okay, most of you seem to be saying yes, and it's more like um, you know, how do you say? I think it is 70-30. 70 would be yes, and 30 would be no. Okay, so if you enjoy mathematics, okay, you are going to enjoy coding the math problems within Python. Okay, you're going to enjoy even more. And even if you do not enjoy mathematics, you're still going to enjoy because you're not going to do any kind of computations at all, right? So when we did sine, cos, value, and everything, do you actually worry about how it works, right? This is a question for the people who are not a big fan of mathematics, right? So are you really concerned about how it is solved? Probably not, right? You are not going to solve it there. You just have to invoke the function. You just have to call the functions. So that's how you can have it to your liking. Python is going to make math easier for you. Okay, only thing is you just have to understand the concept a little bit. No need to solve the problem all by yourself. I can understand that people who do not enjoy math, maybe they have issues with solving the problems itself, right? But you probably and you are most likely to understand the concept. So if you understand the concept, that is more than enough for Python, but it is not enough for mathematics. I can't really help you out there. Okay, right. So let's move on. So we did the matrices, and let's do some quick exercises. Okay, can you just give me what what this gives us as the output? Just tell me in short form. That is also fine. How many functions are there in math library? We don't really know, right? There are it's like how many things can you do with math? So the answer is that. Right, you got it correct. Alice Smith. Okay. What is the output of this now? I know it is a little confusing. I meant to do that. Okay. So as you can see, 103 is removed. So what I did, I assigned it to another variable and passed it within this. Right? Instead of just saying 103 here, I used a variable. Okay. So you may use variables when you have larger code, and you may use the same variable in multiple lines. Okay. Right. Okay, let's say that you have a log history. Okay, this is something which is common. Okay, that is the events occurred according to the time and according to how they were recorded. So how does a list record the events? It is always appended at the end of the list, right? So take an example of the event that occurred very recently. How do you get the very recent event in this case? What method will you use? Not the index, I'm not talking about the index, but to retrieve the latest one. What are you going to use? It is not the now function. Now is going to give you the current time. No, not at all. Okay. I'm just asking questions from the topic that we did, guys. You are moving out of the topic. So log history of -1 is going to give you what? The last or the recent access or the recent recorded time. Right? It is as simple as that. So do not overcomplicate it with the logic. Sometimes you have to look at the logic in different dimensions. Okay, it is not. It may be not the the straightforward answer that you can get. Okay, but what we used was one of the simplest solutions, right? So you know how to fetch the last element of a list, that is through the negative indexing. So the positive indexing is going to give you the ones in the beginning, right? If I use 0, it is going to give me this. 1 will be this, and 2 will be this. But I do not know how many are there, in this list. What if there are thousands of them, right? But I want the last element. So therefore, I can always go with -1, right? -1 is going to give you the last index itself. Okay, for this -1, this is the first index. Okay, imagine this is the nth number or the nth index. So it -1 is always going to point to the same index. So that is how we can use it, because we will not know the index. So to answer your question, how to access it without knowing the index is same, right? Using the negative index. Okay. So let's get that out of our way and move on to the other built-in functions. Right. We'll take a break in a couple of minutes, but let us finish these off. So we have some fruits. Okay. And if you want to know how many fruits are there, what can we do? Number of fruits is going to be, yes, length. Length or LEN of fruits. Right, it is going to give us 3. So as I said, there are multiple solutions for this. Okay, one of them is length, LEN. Okay, then let's say you have some numbers. Okay, some random numbers without any order. How would you find out the least value and the highest value? So there are functions, yes, min and max, right? So using min of numbers and max of numbers. So minimum, it's going to be min of numbers. So it gives us 1. And then same we have maximum. Here it is max. It is going to give you 9. And another way of doing this, okay, I can see that someone already answered it. Good one. So you can sort this. First, you have to sort this and take the first index and the last index. You can do that also, right? But this is a straightforward way. And sorting is going to take some time, right? It may take some time, and it is still a processing thing. You have to process your list to arrive at the solution. Okay, so min and max, it will give that. Okay, so next we have list comprehension. We will look at it after taking a quick 5-minute break. Okay, take a 5-minute break and be back. I'll start the timer. Okay. Take a breather, guys. I know you've been sitting for an hour already. We work more efficiently when we take regular breaks. Regular shorter breaks is going to help us out a lot. All right, I hope everyone is back. If yes, please type in Y and we can get started. Okay. I can see that there is a question. Is it possible to get job in IT industry when you're working as a assistant professor of civil? Okay, that's a good question, sir. Actually, there is no constraint as to what branch that you have to work, that you have to study to understand programming. First of all, what they are going to check is whether you understand the concepts of programming or not. Take, for example, with Python itself, whether you are able to solve the problems with the help of Python or not. That is what they are going to check. So why I say this is, I personally have worked with people who are from different backgrounds, right? I personally have hired someone who did not even go through their engineering or their BE or BTech. Why I did that is this person exhibited the qualities of a great software engineer, because what he did was he went through courses like this and he learned programming by doing. He learned programming by looking at these courses and he was able to code by the end of that. And he practiced it so well that he also created some projects all by himself, right? And also, I guess he did tell me that he was working with one of the institutes and they helped him with a bunch of projects also, right? So what happens when you do the projects at the end of your course or any course? It is going to build the credibility. First is it is going to help you understand how the language works, how any technology works, right? And second is it builds credibility, saying that, okay, this person does understand Python because I can see that they have already built a project out of it. And the project exhibits all these qualities of Python, all these topics of Python, which is great, right? So to answer your question in a simple and straightforward way, yes, you can get a job in the IT industry. Doesn't matter what your background is, right? As long as you are able to prove that you are a good developer or prove that you are good technically, right? To find the technical fit is what everyone is looking for. Okay, right. So that is why I believe many of the students here are not just from the computer science background, I believe, right? So they are from different backgrounds also. So it does help you out, guys. Okay. So what were we doing? We did the min and max. Okay. So next, we were about to do sum. So let's take an example of that also. So we have a list of numbers and total. And if you want to add all of them together, right? Sum of numbers. It is as simple as that, right? It is like talking to your computer in English. So therefore it gives 15 as the result. So sum is 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So that is 15. You can give any number of elements and it is going to give you the output. Okay. And one more thing that I wanted to show here was, what if this had some strings like this, right? So let's take this. I know these are not numbers, but in order to avoid some typing, I'm just doing this, okay? So these numbers list is going to contain apple, banana, and cherry. So when we do some min and max of this, what it does is min is going to give you the first element and max is going to give you the last one, right? Even though it is a string, then it goes by the index. So because it can't really do anything, right? So that's how it works. So next, where were we? Again, We did the sorting, I believe. If yes, can you just let me know in the chat whether we did sorting or not? Okay. Right. Anyway, I'll just show you an example. So we have the unsorted list and then the sorted list, and you can just run. I think we did the dot sort method. Right. So this is a slightly different one. Okay, sorted is going to give the a sorted list of it. Right. Next, if you try to print this, print the sorted list, it gives you the actual sorting. And what this does is, I'll also tell you the difference between the one that we did earlier and the one that we are doing now. So unsorted list is going to remain the same. It is in the original format. Okay. And here what it does is it takes the unsorted list and it just takes a copy of that when it is doing the sorting and assigns it to sorted list. Whereas dot sort method is going to act upon this list itself. And when it acts upon the original list itself ends up being changed. Therefore, both are different. Depending on how you prefer, right? You want the original one to be maintained as it is, yes or no? So based on that, you can use either dot sort method or sorted of list. Okay. So similarly, we have the tuples, right? So let's say that there is a tuple. So my tuple is 1, 2, 3. So since it is a tuple and it can't really be changed, right? You want to do a lot of operation with the tuple. You're looking for it, but since you can't really do it, you can just convert it into a list, right? So list from becomes list of my tuple. Okay, so when you print this, it is going to be converted into a tuple. And what about my tuple? It is going to remain the same. Okay, so we have two instances of it. One is in the tuple format and the other is in the list format. Okay, hope that is clear. Why we do this is we may want to do some operations on the tuple, right? Generally, it may not be possible. Maybe you want to find the squares, the square roots, or you want to multiply it with something, right? Or you want to change the uppercase to lowercase, whatever that you want to do, right? With tuple is not, it is not possible. None of those are possible. Therefore, you just convert it into a list and then add your list operations. Any list operations that we did, before this or anything that we will be doing can be operated on it, right? Because we have converted it essentially, right? Then we also did the append, right? Append is going to insert it at the end of the list, and then we have done the extend. Extend is going to just take two lists and merge them together, right? Then the remove is done. Okay, so let us see how to check if any particular element exists in the list or not. Okay, so let us have a list, my list with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to check whether a particular element exists in the list or not. So how do we do it? It is with the conditional statements. So I can take a if condition, right? If. So we'll take 3 in this case, if 3 exists or not. If 3 in what? My list. Okay. So I'll say 3. So if I run this, it says 3 is present. So I'll remove this. And when I run this again, it does not print anything. Therefore, it means that 3 is not present. Okay, how do you write some string? It is with the else condition, right? Else, just print 3 is absent. So now you get both the conditions. So this is just for the user, right? So the program understands that 3 is not present, but this is for the user to understand whether it is present or not. Okay, this way it is easier. So I can add 3 in any other position, but still it will be checked and it will be returned saying that it is present. Okay, so again, you can use this as a searching mechanism to check whether a particular element is existing in the list or not. So whether there is a particular string, a particular student existing in the list that you have prepared or not, right? So that can be a validator. Okay, so that is just the example I was talking about. Okay, so next. So we did the removal, right? So what if I'm going to take another list? Okay, so in this list we have multiple occurrences of some elements, and yeah, we have multiple occurrences of 2. Okay, so when I do a remove my list of remove of 2, okay, what happens in this case? My list will be 1, 4, 5, 3, right? So 1 second, it is not going to, yeah, sorry, that was wrong. It was not supposed to do that. It took the old value of my list. Okay, I should actually change the variable of it. So I was talking about the duplicates. So in this case, I'll run this one more time. Okay, my list contains 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5. Okay, and I'm doing my list dot remove of 2. So what it does, it is going to remove the first occurrence of 2. So it has removed the 2 which is present in the first index. That's it. After that, there are other 2's remaining which it has not been able to remove. Okay, so can you guys tell me what can be the solution for this? With so far what we have learned, what can be the solution? How do we remove all the duplicates? Okay, 4, 2, no, 2, 2, 2, delete. Okay, so let's say sort and use pop. Okay, that's nice. Where the index 2 is present. Okay, so sort, when you sort it, maybe when we are trying to use something else, right? When you use pop, no, even that is not the solution. Correct, I got the answer. Ashita, you got it right. Sagar, you also got it right. So you just loop through it, right? As simple as that. So I'll say while 2 in my list. So my list dot remove of 2. Okay, I'll remove this entirely. Let this be as it is. So when I run this and look at my list, it would have removed all of them, right? So you can use this either to remove the duplicates, right? Or, until, or if you don't want a particular element to exist at all, right? You can completely remove it. Okay. Right. So next we have some tuples. I think we have done this already, right? Let's say we have dimensions like this. So using the index, you are going to be accessing the elements, dimensions of 1 or 2. Okay, so this gives us 50. So again, this follows the same indexing 0, 1, and 2. Right. So similarly, we have, if you want to delete the entire tuple, you can just do this. That is EDL, delete of dimensions. And when you do this, what happens? Yeah. And when you say dimensions, it says it is not defined. Why? Why does it say that it is not defined? Any idea? And this is a known error, not an unknown error, by the way. Yes, because this entire object was removed. This is not existing at all in your memory, right? And whatever is completely deleted, you are trying to access it. So therefore, it will give you the error, obviously. Right. And also, similar to your list, it also follows the negative indexing. Right? For example, this. And if you do a negative indexing like this, see, it gives you -1. Okay. Right. Same goes with the slicing also. Okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you slice them using the subset method, you will get 2, 3, 4. Right? Why is it 2, 3, 4 again? I'll just repeat this. The beginning index and the final or the last index. Beginning one is included, last one is excluded. So therefore 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore 1, 2, 3. 4 is excluded. That is, it will not be included at all. So this will be printed onto the console. Okay. Right. And what we did with the list, with the matrix, you can do the same with the tuples also. Okay. If you want to change them, modify them, you will have to make use of conversion, where you will convert the tuple into the list. Okay, list of, that is list of tuple. Right, therefore that converts it. Okay. Right, I hope it is clear till here. Right, because we'll be moving on to some of the other methods, built-in methods, right? And I don't think it is actually required to repeat, but I will still do it, because the same what we have in the list will contain in the tuple also, right? Length, min, max, sum, and also the tuple method, right? So you may ask, we did conversion from tuple to list. Can we do the reverse? Like this, right? List to tuple. Can we do that? So of course, we can do that. So let's say that you have a list already. Okay. So how would you change it? So let's say, let's create a variable. This tuple is going to be the 1 second. Yeah, right. Tuple of list of colors. Therefore, your colors tuple will be this. So from this, we were able to convert it to this. So when would you do this? This operation might be done when you don't want it to be modified anymore, right? If you don't want it to be modified by anyone, you can convert it into a tuple, right? So certain information it is supposed to be left as it is, right? So therefore, what you're going to do, you'll convert it into a tuple. That's it, right? It is quite simple, right? So far, whatever you have learned, hasn't it been simple? Is it not easy to understand? If yes, please just type in Y. If not, please type in N so that I can understand. Whatever the concepts that have been given to you have been clear or not. Right? You may ask some questions. Can we do this? Can we do that? Right? So there are hundreds of things that we can do with programming language. 100 is a small number. It can be like thousands or even lakhs, or it goes beyond that, right? Because possibilities are endless, guys. So we can't really do that even within our lifetime. So therefore, if you have understood the concept, that is more than enough, right? Because you are geared up with all the topics that you need to do anything else that you want, okay, with Python. Okay, I can see that all of them are yes. Okay, it requires practice, yes, but need practice, good. Yeah, good observation, because with anything that you're learning, you obviously need practice, right? So that's right. Okay, perfect then. That's I wanted to know whether you guys are able to understand or not, which is good. All right. So let's move on to dictionaries. Okay, so after dictionaries, we are going to learn a little bit about date and time, and we can wind up this session. Okay. Right. So dictionaries, I think we have done a few of them. If I think we have done it. But let us know a few more. Right? We have a yes. I will be sharing the code to practice. Yes, don't worry, guys. So my dictionary, if you print this, you get the same, right? Except for the color coding. And these are what? Key value pairs. Left hand side is the key and the right hand side is the value, right? The same thing can be written like this, and you'll be able to see in a much clearer way, right? So this is key value, and key value. So we have just taken it as A, B, C. That's it. Okay. And if you want to look at all the keys at once, right? How can we do that? So we have, first, let me just do the length of the dictionary. So my dictionary length, similar to other methods, guys. Length is 3 because this is 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Next. So we were talking about the keys, right? So how do we do that? Keys equal to my dictionary keys. That's it. It is quite simple. And you'll be able to see all the keys within the dictionary. So all the keys are A, B, and C, right? So you are able to see the keys. Is it required that the key is always in string format only? Yes. It should be a proper string. Otherwise, what happens in this case? Now, A is sort of like a variable, right? So it is good to have this practice. So here it says, when I run this, name A is not defined. So if it is not a string, it will be taken as a variable, right? It will be looking for A somewhere, like give me the value of A. But your computer memory says that I have not stored anything called A. The user did not store anything. That's it. It throws an error. Okay. So we looked at the keys. Similarly, we can get the values also, right? Values would be You guessed it right. Same thing with values, right? With Python, you can somehow guess how to do it, right? If you just understand the concept, I'm pretty sure most of you guessed it. Since we did keys here, you would have guessed saying that it will be values, right? And it is true. So Python is that easy. Okay. So you can see that the dictionary values have been printed onto the display. It is 1, 2, and 3. And it will print all the values. If you have like 50 or 100 of them, or any number, it is going to print all of them, right? And you can check the type of it. Print that. Type values. And it says dictionary values, right? It takes different kinds of, the class, right? So if you try to print a string, my string is apple, and try to print type of it, right? The class is str or string. Similarly, here it is dictionary values. And why don't we try this for the keys, right? It makes sense. So here it says, and you would have guessed it again, dictionary keys, right? All of them are different types, which the Python stores in, within, so that it can identify what kind of data it is that I'm looking at. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, right? That is the items, right? So items is nothing but it gives all the key value pairs within the dictionary that is existing as tuples. Okay, so items is going to be my dictionary dot items, right? And you can see that it has given all the key value pairs. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, right? This is just to understand what kind of values are there and what they are associated with, right? And you may be able to read it in a different way now, right? It is just a different view of an object. So your object looks something like this, right? The same has been converted into this format so that you can use it in any other operation. Okay. One moment, Krutik, I see that you have asked a question. We are using for dictionary flower brackets, but when we use my dictionary.keys, it will be converted into list. How come? See, this is an internal operation of Python, right? We are not really doing anything in this, right? Python is providing these methods. We didn't create them. So Python, when it gives the values, it just keeps them in this data type. That's it. Okay. All right. Could not understand the tuple concept. Just go through the video again. If you still don't get it, I'll explain it tomorrow. Okay. Right. So we are done with the items, and let's say that you want to get the value for a particular key, right? So we have our dictionary. Let me use that one more time because we lost it somewhere above. Okay, my dictionary. So I want the value of B. So I'll say B value. So my dictionary dot get of B. So when you do this, you get the value of B, that is 2. Therefore, you just send in the key and get the value. Right? It is as simple as that. Then we have the pop method, okay, the same which we have seen in the list. So my dictionary dot pop. What do you want to remove? I'll say I'll just remove C. Okay, and this returns 3. So when you do the pop operation, whatever has been removed will be taken into this, and it is going to return. Okay. Now when you look at my dictionary, C is gone. It's just A and B. Okay. So when you do a pop, you will actually get the the value of it. Right. So when I do a pop of A, it gives me 1, right? Because that is the value. Pop of B gives me 2. And now look at the dictionary, it's empty. And the empty dictionary is represented by 2 flower brackets or the curly braces. Okay. Is that necessary to give the key in pop? So why don't we try that? Right. So let's do something like this. And what it says, pop expected at least 1 argument, got 0. So what does this mean? Arguments are the ones that you pass within this, right? So we'll understand that when we get into the functions. So you are not passing anything, and whereas it is expecting something to be given. So when I say B, it won't throw any error. Okay. No, there is nothing like removing it by default. No, it is not like that. You require something within this. If you just give pop, in other programming languages, it is going to remove it from somewhere over here, right? Chetan, I can see that you are sending a message saying that can we make a simple form? Can you just elaborate? What do you mean by that? In the meantime, where were we? Yeah, this would have removed the last element in other programming languages, but with respect to Python, that doesn't happen. You require some sort of key like this. Okay, so that's how it works. Then we have the update function. The update function. So how do we do that? Let us take 2 dictionaries, dictionary 1, and then we have a dictionary 2. Because A is 1, B is 2, and dictionary is B is 3, and C is 4. So we have some commonality in 1 and 2. What is that? We have the same key, B, in both of them, right? A and C are different. So let's say that we want to update it now. Update the dictionary. That is, update the old one. Imagine that if dictionary 1 is the older dictionary and you want to update that. Then how do you do that? Dictionary 1 dot update. Update it with what? I want to update it with the dictionary 2, which contains the newer value. Okay, this is not replace. This is update. Okay, so when you do this, what do we get? We get A is 1, B is 3, C is 4. Whereas the original value is A is 1, B is 2. So therefore, 2 is updated with 3. Okay, that is the first thing. And since dictionary 1 does not have C in it, what it does, it takes this and adds it into the dictionary 1. Okay, this is a way of updating your data. So let's say that you have some old data within your system and someone creates some new data in your database, right? So when you pull that data, you will be able to update it. Simply just update it with the old data. That is, update the old data with the new data. Therefore, your older data becomes completely updated, up to date. That's what we mean. Okay. Right. Okay. So we are not going to be creating any forms, in this Chetan, because we are here to learn Python, the core of Python, right? That can be within, you can find it in Django, where you are going to be using HTML or in JavaScript, JS or JavaScript for that, right? That is a completely different topic. So we are not dealing with the front end here. This is the back end part. Okay, so we will not be creating any sort of forms. Okay, right. I think that that clears out the dictionary, right? So one more concept that I wanted to show you all is the comprehension. Okay, so this is with let's do it with list first. Okay, we understood all the basic parts. Okay, so let us do a little bit slightly complex operations. So what we are going to do is we will just take a range of elements, and we are going to apply some operation on it. Okay, let's say that I want to find the squares for a range of 5. So let's do that. So I'll take a variable called squares. Then what I'll do is I'll use a list. Okay. For I'll do it in a reverse order so that you will understand it better. For x in range of 5. Okay. So x is going to have it will be from 0 to 4. What is the range? Range of 5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it gives us 5 elements, right? Range of 5 is what it is. So x is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is according to the iteration. First iteration x is 0, second iteration x value is 1, third x value is 2, and so on. Okay, so that is what it is. For x in range 5, what do I want to do is I want to find the square. So how do I find the square of any number? What number I want to, I'm looking to find the square of is x, right? How do you generally find the square? It is with 2 stars and raised to the power of 2. Okay. Does that make it simple? And now when you look at squares, you have squares of all of them, right? 0 square is 0, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 3 square is 9, and 4 square is 16. Okay. So what did we do? We did it in a reverse order, right? First we took the range and applied another method where we are going to find the squares for this number. Okay. Similarly, you can apply any kind of operation in this. Okay. Right. I hope it is clear. Any question in this? Okay, I can see that it is all clear. Good. So similarly, let us create a set of even numbers. It looks like a lambda function, but this is not. Okay. Lambda comes with actually a lambda keyword. Okay, but we haven't got into functions yet. Right. So, right. So, do you want me to repeat it, please? Okay. So I'll do it one more time. What we did here is first is we took a range. Okay. And what we did, we want to find the square of it. So range gives us what? The range from 0 to 4. Range of 5 gives us 0 to 4. Range of 6 gives us 0 to 5. Right? And so on. So therefore, the next operation that I'm looking to add is a square. Okay. In this case, I'll just do a cube. since we already did the square. So now when I run this, it gives us the cube of it. Okay, right. So if this is clear, let's do the next one, where we are going to find the even numbers. So even numbers, for this, what we are going to do is, first is we'll do the similar to this, right? We'll take the variable as I. For I in range of, we can take starting range and the ending one. Okay, and then apply a condition. Next, the condition will be preceded with the if. Okay, if I mod 2 equal to 0. So I gave you this problem statement yesterday. How do you print your even numbers or odd numbers, right? And I also gave you the hint saying that you can use the modulus. So modulus is going to give the remainder. When you divide the numbers, it is going to give us the remainder. Then what happens if it is 0, right? When you are trying to divide it by 2, if the remainder is 0, you can easily say that this is an even number, right? If not, it is an odd number, right? So let us print this even numbers. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? With a range of from 1 to 11, right? I hope it makes sense. What we did here, first is we took the range, okay, and I is what we have, what the number is in each iteration, and the condition is I mod 2 equal to 0. Okay, so that is how it works. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, we are almost running out of time. Okay, so the next one is the date and time. Just give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I think we can take the calendar, and date and time for tomorrow. Okay, but what I wanted to do as a little activity is go through this slide and take you guys through some with a knowledge check. Okay, so I wanted to do this. So let's do that today. This is not exactly your surprise test. It came off as a surprise, but it is not an actual test where you'll be graded. But you are going to grade yourself in this case. I'm not going to do that. Right? So what is the answer to this? Where the question is, what does the modulus operator, the percent, do in Python? Right? So I can see that, yes, most of you are giving the right answer except for a couple of them. Can we use tuples inside a dictionary? Certainly. A dictionary is going to hold various types of data. As you can do it. Try it out. Okay, so the answer is, I can see that B and C, where B is like 95%. Only a couple of you are saying C and D. So the answer is B, right? So modulus is going to return the remainder of the division. We just did that, right? Okay. So next, let's see the answer for this. Which comparison operator checks if both the operands are equal in value and type? You don't have to type in the answer. You just have to type in the options like A, B, C, or D. That's more than enough. Good. Everyone got it right. It's fairly simple, right? The others are going to check for not equal and greater than or equal and less than or equal. Next. What does the assignment operator plus equal to do in Python? Both of them together. Correct. So it is going to add the right operand to the left operand and save the value where? In the left operand itself. So that is what we learned, right? The right operand will be added to the left operand first, and then it will save the value in the left one. Okay, good. So what is the purpose of the elif statement in Python? Well, all of you got it right. So it is going to provide an additional conditional check after an if statement, right? If the condition is not satisfied, it always goes into else if it is written there, right? It is a chain of if, else if, else if, else if, and else. Else is at the last. Good. So when will the code inside the else block be executed in an if-else statement? We are not talking about the else if, that is the elif. Okay, this is just an if else. There is no elif. Okay, before you answer, just keep that in mind. So whoever answered D got it wrong. So whoever answered C got it right, right? So when it goes into the else statement, only if the if condition is false, right? So I can see that quite a few of you have got D in the option. So we are not actually talking about elif, right? It is just if and else, just two statements, okay? Right. So what does a while loop do in Python? Okay, some of you says B, some of you says D. Why D? We are really not talking about the continue statement. To skip that. A is also not correct because here it is, you have executes a block of code a specified number of times, right? We are not really specifying any number of times when we are doing a while loop. That is only done in the for loop where you can have a range. So if you give a range, so it will take, that will be the specified number of times. So the answer is C. right? It repeatedly executes a block of code as long as the specified condition is true. What we did earlier is if the number is less than 5, right? So as long as it is true, it is going to keep on repeatedly executing the code. Okay, right. Which loop is useful for iterating over complex data structures? So quite a bit of mixed responses on this. I don't know which one has the majority looking at the options. If one majority goes up, the other one comes down, and vice versa. Okay. So with complex data structures, when we have something like that, we make use of a nested loop, right? So take a look at the notes, guys, before before you take up the test. Ensure that you are going through the notes every day, okay? And whatever we finish in the class you'll be having the same within your notes as well. So go through it so that the memory is retained. Okay, in this case, it is not A, not B, not C, right? I can see that some of you also gave the option C. Not at all. So the nested loop is the answer. What does the break statement do in a loop? Correct. It is going to exit the loop prematurely, right? So when you hit a break statement, what happens? It will just put a pause to the entire looping, and it says, "I am done. I am going out of this loop," right? So that is what the break statement do. Okay. So to repeat, the answer is B. Good. Which loop control statement is used to skip the current iteration and continue to the next one? Correct. It is the continue statement. So elif is not true, guys. How is that? Right? So this is the loop control. We are talking about loop control. This is not the conditional statement. So loop is what? It is with a for loop or a while loop. And over there, you are going to use a loop control, which is either continue or break. Okay, so if elif, they don't really come into this equation at all. Okay, the answer is C. What is the purpose of a for loop? So whoever is saying that the option is D, you are again talking about the while loop, right? It repeatedly executes a block of code as long as the specified condition is true, right? That is the while loop. So the answer is C. It iterates over a sequence, right? It could be a list or a tuple or a string. Okay. So next, what is the purpose of the bitwise AND operator? That is the ampersand. No, it does not add two numbers. In this case, we use plus directly to add something. Raises the left operand to the power of the right operand. No, we are not using any power method. So the answer is B, right? So A and B are incorrect. I can see that majority is B. So yes, that is right. So bitwise AND operation. So 0 and 0 is going to give you 0. 0 and 1 is going to give you 0. 1 and 0 is going to give you 0 again. So what is going to give you 1 is 1 and 1. Both of them should be 1s, right? So that is the right. It is referring to the truth table. Okay. So which logical operator returns true if at least one operand is true? Correct. Most of you got it right. It is B. That is, OR is going to return true if at least one operand is true. That is, 0 or 1 is going to give you 1. 1 or 0 is going to give you 1. 0 or 0 is going to give you 0 because both are zeros. It says at least one should be true or one should be, the one should be true at least, or 1, value is 1. Right. 1 or 1 is also 1. All right. So in a Python, if elif else statement, okay, we are talking about if elif and else statement. How many blocks of code can be executed? How many blocks can be written, first of all? It is 3 blocks. Total is number of blocks that can be added is 3. Okay. But when it comes to execution, only one will be executed, right? So it is a conditional statement. So therefore, only one can be executed. Okay. How many blocks can be added? Of course, it is 3 blocks. If is 1 block, elif is 1 block, and else is also a block, right? So that is how it works. Next, what is the output of the following code snippet, right? You will get questions like this as well. So just take a look at it and let me know. We did this already. Understand, go through the code and let me know what is the option. Correct. So the answer is A, right? Whoever got it as A, you're right. Because the start index is what? 1, right? So it starts from there, includes the 1 also. 1, 2, 3, and ends at 5. That is before 5, ends at 4. Okay. Right. I think that's pretty much it for today. Let's see if you guys have any other questions. It's already 9:07. Okay. So let me know if there are any questions before we wind up today's class. Yes, there will be assessments. This was not the surprise test. This is not the surprise test. Although it is a little surprising, but this is not the test. Okay, this is just for you to evaluate. Okay. Visualization. Okay, Kritika, I can see that you have asked a question. Sorry if I missed it earlier. Visualization is not included in this particular course because this is just a 15-day course where you'll be learning how to navigate through Python, right? The core Python. This is mostly about the core Python, guys. Okay, we are not here to learn data science or anything. We are here to learn Python. Python is one discipline. First is you have to understand Python. From there, you can move towards data science or data engineering or whatever that you want to do, right? DevOps, security, penetration testing. Then you can move towards quality assurance, right? Okay, so the notes is present within the LMS. You will be able to see that. Okay, so what else? Will you be covering IPython in this course? Okay, so IPython is nothing but your command line terminal, right? What are you going to achieve with that? Say you have not this, have idle. It looks something like this. Do you guys want to learn something like this? That is, it is nothing but Python itself, but you execute it in an editor, something like this, like your idle, or it will be in your command line, where it looks somewhat like this. So no, of course no. We want to focus on trying to be relevant towards the problem statements that we have, right? So no, will not be covering that. Nested loop is already covered in yesterday's class. Sahil, you can take a look at that. No, notes towards visualization will not be shared in this because that is a completely irrelevant topic for us. Then yes, this is a certificate course. I think Amar has already clarified it. Amar, are you around? Can you please
Yes, I'm there.
chime in?
Yes, guys, you will get the certificate of participation, but for that 60% attendance is mandatory.
Okay, please share the code. I'll do that. I will be sharing this notebook with Amar, and he will be updating over the LMS. Pandas again, it is more towards the data. So within 10 to 15 days, you can't really learn enough Python that you move towards pandas. So no, will not be having pandas in this. Okay, but whatever we learn, you will be able to import pandas on your own later, right? So maybe are there any other programs coming up, Amar?
Yes,
Yeah,
but at same
so yeah.
time,
Come again.
yes, we're coming up with the cloud computing and DevOps from the
Okay.
6th of December.
Okay, So there will be other courses, and similarly there will be courses on data science as well. So in that you will be finding it. But to get into your data science, you have to understand Python first. Okay. Yes. So this is beginner to intermediate level, Sahil. Yes. So when you move towards the intermediate level, you will understand some of the nuances, how the programming works. Right. I want to know the path for product manager. That is a completely different question. Let's stick to the relevant questions for now. But I would say that product manager should have some technical expertise. That's what I can give at this moment. Okay, so they need to have understanding of what a product is, how how to navigate between the within the problems that come across the product, right? They have to understand the business perspective as well, right? And also the technical side of it. So it's a mixture of all these skill sets. You can call your Python script on command prompt by saving it as just a .py file and executing the py file. That's it. Py, uh, you know, uh, and the Python file. Sumant, to answer your question again, we can add tuples in a dictionary. As I said, dictionary is nothing but your key value pairs. Okay, define a key. Okay, and for the value, you just add a tuple, right? So just type in any tuple and add it over there. You can. Okay, I think we are good to go. I don't see any more questions. Okay, Amar, do you have anything to add on to this?
No, nothing from my side, guys. If you have any query or question for me, let me know. Okay, so guys, you're asking me for the attendance link. 1 minute, I will share that. YouTube participant enjoying the class, please hit the like.
Alia, I can see that you have a question. How to run the Python file in CMD? Okay, it is nothing but just add a Python space your file name .py. I'll just send it over the chat. Second. So that is how you execute any Python file using the command prompt. Yes, SQL or SQL, that is the database, will be covered within this course. Yes, Sahil. For data engineering, this 10 days of Python, that will not be sufficient. See, we are not talking about data engineering here. We are just talking about Python, right? First, you have to learn Python. Then you can move towards data engineering. That's a different topic. yes, if you are done with the discussion, you can certainly leave the meeting. Just ensure that you have filled in your forms. Does this course teaches how to link between SQL and Python? Yes, we will be connecting. We will be using some connectors to use. That is, you have your database and you have your programming. So you are going to connect both of them. So using Python, you will be able to take the data, that is, retrieve the data from your database, display it, or you can, with the help of Python, you are going to write a script where you can insert the data or update the data, right? Anything. All right. Thank you guys, and let's meet tomorrow. I see that there are no other relevant questions. Okay, thank you. I enjoyed the session as well. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Have a great night. Bye bye. Amar, I think
all of you.
we can wind it up if there are no questions for the LMS or anything else.